everybody. So today we're going to have the next tasting of my Citra Galaxy 2-row beer. Now, at the beginning of the year, Yakima Valley has a hot box that you can subscribe to. I subscribed to the smaller one. It was 8 2-ounce hops quarterly. So this is part of the first batch. The Citra and the Galaxy were in there. And at that time, one of my local homebrew clubs had a presentation on New England IPAs. So I brewed, let's just say, I don't even know if I put it on here, IPA, and then I did a New England IPA with it. So this one is just using 2-row, so it's just, I wouldn't say a smash beer because it's got more than one hop, but 2 pounds, 8 ounces of 2-row. This is a small batch, 1.25 gallons going into the carboy. Then for the boil, 1 hour boil, 0.25 ounces of Citra at 30, 0.25 ounces of Citra at 10, 0.25 ounces of Galaxy at 10, 0.25 ounces of Galaxy at 5. Then Whirlpool 170 degrees for 15 minutes, 0.25 ounces of each. For the dry hop, 3 days into fermentation, again 0.25 ounces of each. From this, my Citra was 13.3 alpha acids and the Galaxy was 13.4 alpha acids. Looking at this, we're at 30, 50, 60, 70, about 80 IBUs in this, even though I did put them at the 30-minute mark, so that's still a big one. Bottled on 1/30, 2020, 7.77% ABV. Let's go ahead and get this open. Good hiss, good smoke. I'm going to have to clear off my bottle caps. We're going to get ahead. Almost looks like that's Maris Otter. I can definitely smell it. White head, very, very low, not even a quarter finger of head. Small and medium bubbles in there. Color, lighter orange, very hazy. It kind of reminds me of what a Maris Otter malt would look like. Yeah, very hazy, can't see through it. Maybe the whatever's in the hops are leaving it like that. I just got done a couple days ago doing some more Centennial Cascade 2 hop beers, and those were pretty clear. There were a couple that were semi-hazy, but for the most part, nothing like what this looks like. Let me check the yeast, because I know I didn't say that. Oh, USO5 yeast, so that's not the culprit. Let's go ahead and smell. A little sweet, fruity passion fruit is what I'm getting. That toasted malt is coming up. We are in August now, so let's just say 7 months old. Yeah, like a weird mix. I think it's that toasted malt that's really starting to come up, but it's like a sweet, fruity passion fruit smell with some malt behind it. Almost picked up orange. Yeah, it must be that sweet malt that's in there, playing with that fruit and passion fruit. It's not like I normally call passion fruit like a sweaty foot smell or something. It's very low, but I can pick it out. Let's go ahead and taste. Sweet malt up front. That malt, I think, is taking over a lot. There is a touch of fruit like in the middle, but then it's all bitterness in the back. As it goes down, aftertaste, that sweet malt, a little fruitiness in there, like generic fruit. but that bitterness is huge. Huge. I would say, yeah, around 80 IBUs is probably what this is. Very smooth. Body's on the medium side, but I'm getting a little alcohol burn. And that's funny because I was just thinking last night when I laid down, um, like if I've made a beer out of the blue that I've had where I've smelt and tasted the alcohol. I'm like, that's almost impossible. But obviously, if you let it age and those hops start dying down, and I think that's what we're kind of used to, at least I am, in these IPAs, pale ales, if you let them sit long enough, a lot of that profile from those hops is going to go out. Now, I've had some mainly double IPAs that have been older and they're more of that syrup malt. That's not where this one is, just because of that high bitterness. But for whatever reason, that high bitterness reminds me of my black IPA. I think I talked about it a week or so ago in a video, that really kicked up. And that's kind of what this is. My guess is that's because there's not a lot of malt used in there. I mean, I've drank most of those Centennial Cascade beers, and it's nothing like what this is. And I'm sure some hops are going to react different than others, but yeah, this one has a real sweet malt presence up front. Then in the middle of the palate, you do get a little fruitiness, a lot of bitterness in the back. That bitterness goes into the aftertaste along with that sweet malt, a touch of generic fruit, and it's just stays there. That bitterness just really stays there. So definitely not one that I would brew and let age. I'm pretty sure this was just fine when it was younger, and I don't have any notes on this. But yeah, I think at least in this version of it as it is now, not one that I would brew and let stand. So if you enjoyed this video, check some more out over here. And until next time, happy brewing.